Hi, it's Rob Bryanton back here with the Imagining the 10th Dimension video log, and today we are talking to Gevin Giorbran, the author of Everything Forever, Learning to See Timelessness, one of my favorite books, and a book that really opened my eyes to how important the aspects of grouping and symmetry are to the way that our reality is created. Gevin, welcome to the show.
Hi, Rob. Good to be here.
So, for me, when I was first introduced to your ideas, the thing that was really the boing moment for me was when you got to the idea that at the outside edges of our reality, everything unfolds back into zero. And when I was creating the graphic for my project, I had intuitively understood that, but I hadn't really seen all the ramifications of it that you introduced me to. The idea in the helix graphic that's associated with this project, having the 0 at the bottom and the 10 both on a line that connects the two of them together was deliberately placed there because that was what I was seeing. But what you introduced me to was the idea that the end of our universe unfolds back into that same 0 again, an unfolded symmetry. And the idea that there is symmetry and grouping happening throughout our reality is one of the ideas that that you really so eloquently introduced us to. And do you want to talk a little bit about that today?
Well, it's interesting the way we sort of reject the notion that the idea of unfoldment, the way that things can, in a sense, be enfolded into something and invisible to us and there, but we just can't see them. With symmetry order, I mean, we're actually accustomed to those kind of concepts in certain ways. For example, light. We appreciate that white light contains all the primary colors and the tertiary colors, and that they're somehow in there. But we don't really actually think of white light as full, as if the colors are literally inside there, creating the white light, and that's the concept in the book. You know, that's probably the key concept that I'm trying to explain, is that what appears to us to be nothing, to have no qualities, can in a sense be an unfolded order, in the same way I explain it in the book using everything in my refrigerator. If I take it all out and I throw it in the pot and cook it for hours and hours and hours, and I stir the pot and add a little bit of water, and eventually all those things combine together into one. They combine together into a mush, but it's one, and that's the way symmetry order is. Even though we don't visibly recognize that something is full, it's actually a feature of nature. It's a very basic phenomenon in reality, and it's something that we don't today recognize in science. Science has not learned yet to appreciate the notion that what appears to us as nothing, something uniform, something such as space, can be full rather than empty. We are still thinking in the notion that empty space is nothing or empty, and we see the world as all above or greater than or more than that nothingness. And that's how we all, from birth, that's how we all learn to perceive the world around us. And so that it really connects back to the question of why the universe seems so miraculous and why it seems so impossible to exist, because how can there be all this matter and somethingness in contrast to the nothingness that is more fundamental, and that's in the sense that everything has somehow arisen above, and that is a whole mental, it's a whole mindset. And when you begin, you know, as you have with both your writing and apparently from reading my ideas, is that you can start to suddenly recognize that there's this whole other way of seeing the world, to where you can recognize that everything is less than everything, that everything is in a sense a fragment of this one great whole. And it makes so much sense in terms of the many worlds theory and quantum theory, because we're accustomed in science to seeing that the quantum probability wave as containing all these other possibilities, and then we say, well, but then there's this one real one that comes out of that probability wave, and that's the one we experience, and that's the real world, and that's only physical reality. Well, in this mindset, you switch then, and you realize that everything is enfolded into that probability wave actually represents the whole, and we are just one fragment within that whole. And so you're seeing things as less than the whole, rather than everything as more than nothing.
Exactly. Now, one of the ideas that I talked about and that I have a song about is the idea that the Big Bang is an illusion. After reading your book, I also rewrote one of my songs. I had a song called Big Bang to Entropy, which 2 years ago was what I had been taught, and most of science continues to teach, is that the end of our universe is entropy. And the chorus of my song was Big Bang to Entropy, repeated 3 times. The chorus of the song now, I'm still acknowledging entropy as something that people think of as the ending, so I say it once, but the song now goes Big Bang to Entropy, Big Bang to Symmetry, Big Bang to everything, so that it starts to acknowledge the idea that that there is something in our reality outside the Big Bang, outside the end of our universe, and that's that unfolded symmetry that you're talking about. So
it's sort of a switch on the direction. I mean, and it's classical as far as relates exactly to what I was talking about. That's that 2 ways of seeing things, because we see, in science and typically our most casual way of looking at the Big Bang is to think of the past as more and more dense and more the creation, in the sense, the origin of somethingness, and then as we move into the future, scientists believe the universe is becoming disordered and dying, and all the usable energy is being used up, and so we're moving towards, in a sense, nothingness, and the universe is just dying, and eventually there won't be any substance or reality or physical material, and so again we're seeing like the world is more than nothing, and when you make the switch, then you can see that actually the Big Bang is the past is less than where we're moving towards, and we're actually, the universe is moving into and becoming, rather than dissolving and disintegrating.
right, and the idea then that that science has taught us that there's this hopelessness at the end of our universe becomes turned on its head. It's actually quite a wonderful thing that we're heading towards when you think about it in these terms.